Hello students, how are you? I hope you are doing well. I am Sneha Malik. I am from Bangalore. My highest qualification is NCA. I have 3 years of experience of teaching as a computer science lecturer. So far I was worked as an assistant professor in a college and currently I was working in a GATE IIT Academy as a computer science faculty. So my main subject is computer science. I can teach computer science from 9th standard to engineering students, and I can teach mathematics also from 6th class to 8th standards. That's all my introduction. So today I am teaching a topic that is known as a recursion. So this is very important tool of a programming language. It is used in any type of programming language, like you can use in C, C++, Java, Python. It is used in every programming language. So what is the meaning of this? And in this class I will teach you types of first of all in this class I am going to teach you about means what is the meaning of recursion. Second, types of recursion. Third, how it works. Next, which type of error occur in recursion. And what are the advantages and disadvantages of recursive function. So one by one I will going to explain every topic. First I will tell you what is the meaning, then types of recursion, then how it is working and which type of error occur in this, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of a recursive function. So first point is meaning. So what is the meaning of a recursion? As I told you, it is an important tool of every programming language. Okay. So what is the basic meaning of recursive function? The basic meaning of recursive function is function calling itself. Means the function is calling itself. Now, the function which is calling itself, that function is known as a recursive function. Okay, means recursion means a function is calling itself again and again. So, the function which is calling again and again, that function is known as a recursive function. Got it? Now, the second point is types. Now, what are the types of a recursion function? The recursion functions types, there are 2 types of recursion function. What are the type? First type is direct recursion and another type is indirect recursion. So I will explain you one by one what is the meaning of direct recursion and what is the meaning of indirect recursion. So first I will explain you what is the meaning of direct recursion. See, direct recursion. Direct recursion means, as I told you, recursion means function calling itself. So direct recursion means a function, like this is a function, it is calling again itself directly. Means a function which can call itself directly without any other function help, that function is known as a direct recursion. Okay. Now what do you mean by indirect recursion? Indirect recursion. See, recursion means a same function calling itself. Direct means without any help it can call, but indirect means with the help of other functions it can call to itself. Okay, how? Like function 1, it call function 2, then function 2 call function 1. Okay, you can see in this function 1 is not calling itself. First it called function 2, from here we will come to this function, then function 2 is called to function 1. So that is known as a indirect recursive function. Okay, now the next is how the recursive function is worked. How it is worked. So it is main important topic of a recursion, that is how recursion works. So to understand this how it is working, you need to understand two important things, that is there are 2 points, that is known as a base case and another one is recursive case. Okay, now what is the meaning of this? I will explain you one by one. So what do you mean by, as I told you, recursive function means a function calling itself. So if the function calling itself and there is no endpoints, so it will become infinite. Okay, so to stop this function, stop infinite function, we need a condition so that it can terminate. So that terminate case is known as base case. Base case means terminate a recursive function. Means if a function is calling again and again itself, if there is no endpoint, it will become infinite. So to make it finite, we need a base case that is used to terminate a recursive function. Okay, so now coming to the next point, that is recursive case. Recursive case means, as I told you, recursive means calling itself. Okay, calling itself. So how it is calling itself, that is the main thing. Means when a recursive case is calling itself, it should be, when a function is calling itself, it is in that way so that whenever it is called, it comes closer to the base case so that we can check the terminate condition. Okay, so what is the recursive case? Recursive case means a function calling itself and it should be in such a way, so that when it calls, it come closer to the base case so that we can terminate the recursive function. Okay, now see the example of this. I hope you understand what do you mean. I will repeat this when I will explain the example. So what is the example we are taking here? The best example of recursion function is, that is, example for this is factorial of a number. The best example of recursion function is factorial of a number. So how it is working, how we write the program using recursion functions, now I will explain you, I will teach you. Okay, so first of all, in mathematics term, how you find the factorial? Like you have to find the factorial of 5. How can you find the factorial of 5? So it can be written as 5 into 4 factorial. Okay. Now this 4 can be written as 3 factorial. 3 factorial can be written as 2 factorial, and the 2 factorial can be written as 1 factorial, and as you know, the factorial of 1 is 1. Okay, there is no factorial of a negative number. So the factorial of negative number is nothing. It will be an error. It will be an error. Now, how it is working? When we reach at this point, so this 1 is known as a base case. And all this process, these all are known as a recursive case. So when we reach at this 1, what it will return? It will return 1. It will return 1. So 2 into 1, it will return 2. Okay. Means from here it will return 1. From here it will return 2 factorial. From here it will return 3 factorial. Like that it will find the factorial of a 5. Now how we write in the programming way? Let's see. And I will explain you how it is working also. So we have a factorial function int factorial int n. Okay. So int n means this is the value whose factorial you want to find. So in this function we have, if a condition n is equal to 1, it will return 1. Why we are using this here? Because the factorial of 1 is 1. Okay. Now, what is the else portion? In else portion, it will return, or it will call a function again. How? N into fact of n minus 1. So, here you can see we have written this function again, factorial. So from here this function is going back to start, initial point. Okay. So now how it is working? You can see I am taking an example. Like you have, I will write it here again, factorial int n int if n is equal to 1, it will return 1, else it will return n into factorial of n into 1 and close. Okay. Now you see how it is working. Like you have to find the factorial of n value is 6. Okay. So in this we pass the value in place of n is 6. Now we enter in this function. We have to check first condition, that is n is equal to 1 or not. So tell me, 6 is equal to 1? No. So we will not move in this portion, we move to else part. Okay. So in else part it is written that n into factorial of n minus 1. So how can you write this? N is equal to 6 is equal to 6 into factorial of 6 minus 1, that is 5. Okay. Now you can see it will become a new function. So we will come, and now the n value is 5. So we come into this function again. 5 is equal to 1? No. We move to the else part. So this 5 can be written as, 5 into factorial of 4, that is 5 minus 1. Now here we are calling this function again. Now n value is 4. So 4 is equal to 1? No. So this 4 can be written as 4 into factorial of 3. So we call this function again. Now 3, n value will become 3. 3 is equal to 1? No. So we come to this point again. So this 3 can be written as 3 into factorial of 2. Now again we call the same function. N value will become 2. So it can be written as 2 into factorial of 1. Okay. Now n value is 1. See this point, it is very important in this. N is 1. So we entered in this function. N value is equal to 1 or not. So 1 is equal to 1. So this condition is true. So what it will return? It is return 1. So when we call this function, this condition is true. So it is returning 1. So what we get from here? 2 into 1. It is return to this. Means factorial 2 is returning 2. Okay. Here I will write 2. Now this factorial 2, its value means the factorial 1 value is, it is returning 1. Factorial 2 is returning 2 into 1, that is 2. Okay. So this will become 3 into 2. So what is the factorial 2 return? Factorial 3 will return 6. Now multiply of this and 4 and 6 will return 24. It will return 120 and it will return 6 into 120, that is equal to 720. Or you can write like that. You can write this. Wait. It is 5 into 4, 4 into 3, 3 into 2, like that. So it is equal to 5. Factorial of 5. It is a factorial of 4. It is a factorial of 3. And it is factorial of 2. And here you can see factorial 1 is returned 1. So in place of this, factorial 2 will be 2 into 1, that is 2. So here you can see in factorial 3, we have 3 into factorial of 2. So what is the factorial of 2 we have? That is 2. So it can be put here. That will become 6. Now from here we will move back to upward direction. So what is the factorial of 4? Factorial 4 is equal to 4 into factorial of 3, which is equal to 4 into 6. So we will get 24. So what that factorial of 4? Here it is used to find the factorial of 5. So factorial of 5 will become 5 into factorial of 4, which is 5 into 24. So we get 120. So this value will return here. So the 6 factorial of 6 will be 6 into factorial of 5. So it will be 6 into 120, which is equal to 720. So by this way the program is executed. Got it? So this is a way how the recursion function is working. So this is the main code. So what is the main code? I will write again. I will explain you this first again how it is working. First of all, you need to enter a value, that is 6. So 6 into, it will check the condition. This condition is false. We move to this point, that is n into factorial n minus 1. It is written here. Then we call the function factorial 5 again. We check this condition. It is false. So we move to this part and we write that as it is. Okay. Then like this process is continue until we will not get here 1. Okay. Now we call the function factorial 1. 1 is equal to 1. This condition is true. So when we reach at the base case, so you have seen, I told you there are two cases, base case and recursive case. Recursive case, I told you, it call a function again and again in such a way so that we reach closer to the base case. So you can see, first we have 6, it is not closer to base case. Then we have 5, it is also not closer. 4, 3, 2, these are not closer to, these are not equal to base case, but it is coming closer to the base case. So in the last, it comes equal to the base case and then it will terminate. So after termination, it will return value that is equal to 1. Back substitution we have to use. So that is, so you can see, that is, the recursion is used which data structure, that is known as a stack. Okay, which data structure is used by the recursion? That is known as a stack. Stack means last in, first out. So which is coming in last, that is factorial 1. First it will return, then this will return, then this, then this, then this, and then in the last factorial of 6. You can see with the help of stack also. I will draw here again. So this is stack, means it's like a rack. Okay, like at your home you have seen there is a rack, lot of things you have, like in almirah. How you put the cloth in the almirah and how you bring out from clothes from the almirah, which is at the top. You will put it out first, then second, then third, and according to that the stack is working. Means the main logic of stack is last in, first out. So when we have a 6, what we will write here? Factorial of 6. Okay, it's meaning 6 into factorial of 5. So here we will write factorial of 5. Like that we will write factorial of 4, 3, 2 and 1. Factorial of 1. Okay. So what is the meaning of this? Its meaning is 5 into factorial of 4. Its meaning is 4 into factorial of 3. Its meaning is 3 into factorial of 2. Its meaning 2 into factorial of 1. Okay. Now what is the meaning of what it will return? It satisfied this condition, so it will return 1. Okay. So it is return 1. So this will be out. As I told you last in, first out. This is out. So this place is filled with, here this place is filled with 1. Okay. It is empty. So 1 is written here. Now it moves to the second top. This is returned 2 into 1, that is 2. Now factorial 3, here we are using 3. So I will write here 3, then 4, then 5 and then 6, which is equal to 6 factorial. So how it is working? By using the concept of stacked data structure. So this is all about the how the recursion is worked. So in the last it will calculate it and it will return the result, that is 720. Understand? So in this factorial function, what is the base case? Can you tell me? Yeah, what is the base case and what is the recursive case? Take your time. Tell me what is the base case. Yes, base case is this one. Base case. Now what is the meaning of this double slash? Double slash means it is a comment. Comment means if anyone can see, he can easily understand what is the meaning of this quote. Okay. Now what is the recursive case? This one. In this the function is calling itself. That is known as a recursive case. Okay. I will write it again. Recursive case. So what we have done? We have studied about what is recursion, types of recursion, and now we have done how it is working. Okay. Now the next topic is what type of error occurs in the recursion. Only one type of error occurs in the recursion. Error occurs in recursion. What type of error? The error that is occurred in the recursion is known as stack overflow error. Means if the recursive case does not meet with the base case or not going closer to the base case, that case is known, then the error occurred, that error is known as a recursive stack overflow error. How? If I have written here fact int n, and if I will write here n is equal to 100, return 1, and else return n into fact of n minus 1. So as you see, the number is in the decreasing form. If I took number is 7, it will comes to the 1, not into the increasing number. So when this condition, when this is there, at that time what type of error is occurred? That is known as a stack overflow error. Okay. So that is our class today. I hope you understand my topics, and these are topics, and I hope you are able to solve these problems also, and you can try to solve the problem that is known as a which problem you will solve, like to find the same large GCD, that is LCM of two number with the help of recursive function. I hope you are able to find the solution. Thank you so much. Bye.